Hello, Diana. I'm good. How are you? Morning, Samara. Hello, Parvati. Yes, I did. Well, it's not new. It was like it was with the other ones. I actually forgot that I have it, but because I'm working on building this new. Actually, I do have it. I do use it with my clients, but I haven't like promoted. I do have a tarot spread that is to work the shadow self. So I was about to promote it for people that want to book a session with me or book a tarot reading, and I was like, oh, why don't I like use the 78 doors tarot? Because it's also very meaningful. Sometimes it's great to know your shadow self, but also I like to add a bit of resolution, about like how you could work with it, what the outcome you could achieve with what your shadow is. So I was thinking about this deck, about the 78 doors. Um, and I was like, oh, I didn't show it. Like, I don't know if people know of this. But yes, I had it. I don't use it that much. Honestly, it was in my drawer. In my drawer of tarot decks, I have a box full of tarot decks that they are not on display because I do not have the the space to display them all. So I do have an extra box where I put all the decks that probably are the ones that I use like the least. And I forgot I had it. And actually, it's a beautiful deck. It's very profound. It's called Tarot of the 78 Doors. Here it's in Spanish, but this is what it looks like. I believe it's from Los Carabeo. Yes, it's Los Carabeos version. And it wasn't that expensive, actually. Los Carabeos, they have a lot of designs and a lot of tarot decks that actually they are very original, and they are not, the quality is good and they are not that expensive. So Yeah, I was reading what they shared with me in Hello Hope, Hello Fluffy, Hello Machine. Um, I was reading about this actress that actually someone shared on Discord about the news. Actually, it's not a news. It's people commenting on the internet about this actress that I was reading yesterday. I was reading for her yesterday. Remember that she's in Genie's Kitchen with BTSB and the other actors. And you know that the cards that I pulled for her were about how somehow I thought that she had to defend herself, or there could potentially be someone criticizing her. And then today there was an article about it, that probably netizens are not. There's something about her cooking, not knowing how to cook or something like that. I mean, can we maybe be honest, and maybe the backlash is because she is the only female in the group, so you somehow have this very like narrow-minded vision that because she's a female she's supposed to know how to cook. I don't know. I don't know. When a guy does it, when a guy doesn't know how to cook, it's cute. But when a female doesn't know how to cook, it's like, oh my God, like what a scene. Like, come on, guys. Like, they don't know how to criticize her. They just find I believe they probably are like, looking at the scenes, like very detailed, like, looking at the scenes piece by piece, like even in slow motion, to see if they can cut her like doing something wrong, according to the perception. Because like I was saying, what I was getting from the cards yesterday is that the people that worked with her, including the other actors and B, they love her. There's a reason why she is in that group. She's an amazing person to work with. She's very funny, but at the same time, I think that the audience is not comfortable with her. Like, I don't know what they expect from her, but somehow they expect something from her, and she's not giving it. So I don't know. But I mean, it's not her fault if she was invited to do this. Like, there's a decision there. It's like is she supposed to be like the mother of all the other males in there? Like, she's supposed to be like the one that knows, that takes care of everyone just because she's a female? Like, why? If she doesn't know how to, just like, let's enjoy the experience of watching her mess up. I don't know, and watching her, I don't know, make mistakes and be funny. I don't know. I haven't watched. I have to watch it. I have to watch it. Honestly, it's not something that I would watch. I mean, I would watch it because B is there, and the other actors that I really like as well. Their personalities are really fun. I would watch it, but it's not something that I would personally pick to watch. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not my kind of content. Like, I prefer other things. But they say it's good. They say it's really good and funny. So I will have to watch it to somehow understand where they come from with this. Have you watched it, guys? Have any of you watched it? Like Genie's Kitchen? Fluffy, are you watching The Glory? I only watch a few clips of it. Okay. So I'm not alone. Like, I mean, I don't. I will have to ask my army friends, yeah, about it. It probably helps support her if more people start watching now. Yeah, probably. Two more? You're taking your time, Samara. Oh, wow, you're going fast, Hope. You're in episode 7? Wow. You're going fast. It's just that the kingdom is like this. I remember when I mean, maybe I am someone that binge watch a lot. Like once I start and I get interested, I will watch it until 3 a.m. in the morning. I am that kind of person. But yes, I believe it did happen with me and Kingdom. Like I actually like lost track of time. Like I didn't know that I was watching so much. Like I just play. Like at first I wanted to give up because I was like okay, where's the creepy part here? Like this is supposed to be like I didn't know if it was ghost or some paranormal activity. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it had some elements of that. And because of all the political issues and you know and everything that was going on in the rivalry and between the families and stuff, I was a bit annoyed by that. But once I passed that scenes, I was like, oh, this is getting good. This is getting good. This is like when they realize what they are eating, what they are having, that moment I was like, oh. And I haven't like been able to watch for a while. It's something that really like shook me in that sense. Like I tell you guys, I am a huge fan of horror and and also mystery and all those genre. But I wasn't able to connect with that. And that's when I watched Kingdom, when it premiered on Netflix. That was I believe, one of the first content that I was like, okay, I'm going to keep watching Korean content because when it comes to movies, I believe I wasn't into K-pop yet. I only watched that series and I was hooked. I wanted to watch more. But that's why it stayed in my mind, because it was really good for me. The plot, everything, like the tension, and it was a great experience for me. Yeah, Kingdom, the period drama. I still haven't watched season. Yes, that's why I wanted to tell you, Fluffy, that in season 2 there's a scene where the daughter, she plays Phil Wright, and it was really funny. It was a funny moment. I mean, with Jobis, we made it. If we made it in Glory, we made it. Like I love it. I love it because it was such a cute moment, and I think that it was emotional. It wasn't a the series is very emotional, but that moment of, where she was like, no, let me play my opas. And I was like, what? It was so, Phil Wright is very, it was a bit of humor and it was a bit of calming in that moment of a lot of emotional. I loved it. I loved it. The obvious for the win. I mean, we made it. We made it. To be fair, my friend and I ended up watching Physical 100 together, plus Delight Savings. Delight Savings hit, and I didn't realize. What is Delight Savings, Samara? I'm sorry, I'm not comprehending very well. Let's hear up a song. Yes. Oh, daylight. Ah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't understand a bit. No, no, it's okay, Samara. My English is not very good, so I could have those moments where I don't understand. Um, Remember that Hagnon, I believe it was Hagnon, the one that he was wishing they would get on Billboard? It's funny how the Pisces people in the groups, whenever they wish something for the group, like I remember because this happened with when Jungi said that he wanted to be number one. I believe it was the billboards as well, or it was like another chart. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I have a wish." It was before they actually like made it into the Grammys and stuff, and it came true. So and then listening to Hagnon, actually, he did mention something like that, getting into the list. I don't know if it was like the 100s but and it's very interesting when a Pisces member does it because somehow they are like these sort of like predictors, like when they say it aloud, it comes true eventually. But of course, let's not get all magical thinking. It's the effort of the fans. I mean, if an idol says, "Okay, I wish we would get this," it's obvious that it's the fans' work as well, and willpower, and the effort that the fans put to make that idol's wish come true. It's not that especially in these rankings where it has to do with with a lot of efforts, a lot of watching hours, or I don't know how they are ruled or if they're played on radio. I have no idea how the system works, but sometimes I'm like, it's not about so much about the idol being a psychic and being predicting things. It's more that probably the fandom works really hard to make that happen. It's like they align with that member's wish, and they work really hard to get it. So yes, let's get practical. Yes, Hackneon is like the sugar of the boys, whose wish happen in reality. You just said it, both Pisces. And I remember some wishes for a long time ago, and I don't remember who the other member that was with him. He just laughed like it was impossible dream. Yeah, but I think that it's teamwork. The fans really do a great job. It's just that maybe, I have been reading for K-pop for a while now, 2 years, and actually for me to connect with yobis and tarot readings, like it's really hard. Like, and even I use the hashtags and everything, and I know there's a lot of them, but somehow I cannot connect with yobis. And with the other fandoms, I can get to them. Like for example, I don't know, in Citizens, MOAs, ATEEZ, and even Iconics, EXOs, and they're. But with the boys, the obvious, like it's really hard to get to them, and the ones that I get my content, they are so happy and so grateful that I done a reading for them. So I'm like, oh, I wish there could be more people that, I mean, you can watch it if you believe in tarot readings, if you enjoy tarot readings. Like, I totally get that not every fan is going to be like, oh, I want to watch a tarot reading about them. Like, no, I like other things, or I don't believe in tarot, that's also a possibility. But I know there's a lot of fans, so sometimes I wonder, like, you know, why I do get, I know there's a lot, there's some jobbies here, thank God, but in comparison to how many they are, I don't know if I'm not finding their place or the spot where they hang out, but yeah, maybe it's not a spiritual fandom. Yeah. I feel like Kevin could watch your readings. He's into crystal stuff. Yeah. Yeah, the other day I pulled some cards and I got the Pisces card. So definitely someone that would watch my content would be a Pisces. Definitely a Pisces, Pisces idol, or someone that has like a Mars in Pisces, for example. Yeah, maybe they're not that spiritual, or which is understandable. You know, um, but that's why I like to read for groups that, yeah, with me it means a lot because I am a fan of them. But to be honest, like I don't think there's readings for the boys. I haven't, like, except for the Lion's Den, I believe she has done reading for the boys. But for the group, probably. You know, in my case, I try to read for some of them, but since, you know, I haven't read for all of them. I believe I did like a birth chart analysis, Venus in the signs for them. I did for all of them, but individual readings I didn't do for all of them because they don't have much views. So I remember a while ago there was several people interested in the voice and astrology, but it seems like they all left Twitter. Yeah. And honestly, I think that it's also fair that probably there are some people that honestly are done with K-pop and tarot readings. Like probably, you know, since there's a lot of content out there, there's a lot, you know, like this is why I don't want to know what others are saying or reading. What they say in the readings, I don't want to know, except if I'm a fan of that tarot reader in particular, I will watch it. But when it comes to me watching other tarot readings, it's like sometimes some of them are good accordingly to my perception, and some of them are awful. Awful and very very general, very, I don't know how to explain it. Like I mentioned always, like probably a fan buying a tarot deck and trying to pull cards, you know, just like this. So I understand why maybe people sometimes get a bit like tired or exhausted mentally of tarot readings, you know, and because if you watch, for example, if you watch my video and then there's a recommendation of someone else's channel or other readings, it becomes very like too much, like you don't know who to believe, you know. It's like, okay, this one said this, the other one said this, you know, and it's like you start comparing, you know, like, oh, which one is truth, and probably it's a very like it may be maybe toxic, you know, like, and also I think that, you know, sometimes even here I pull cards for idols, but sometimes we often like pull cards for ourselves. Like I sometimes pull cards for you guys, or we talk about ourselves. So, you know, this is what I believe that my intention with my channel was, to not just center into the idol's energy, the idol's life, the idol's circumstances. It's also about coming back to us, because, you know, it's like we matter, you know. So for me, it's very important to, you know, to go back to us. You know, what is it for us to know about these certain things? What's the benefit? You know, what can we learn from what is going on with this group, this idol, this actor? What can we learn from this? You know, what can we reflect on? Um, what does it say about you? How does it make us feel? You know, because if you just consume blindly, just to fill your brain, it's a lot of nonsense. A lot of nonsense, yeah. Maybe they are on Discord or another venue to escape the toxicity. Yes, maybe they are. Yeah, maybe. That's why you have to connect with the reader first and follow your own intuition. I honestly don't watch the other readings when it comes to K-pop. Well, I wanted to show you that I bought this deck. That is the deck of the tarot deck of the 78 doors. And this literally has doors and keys. This is the, you know, this is the theme of the tarot deck, is that in each one of the cards you have doors. You sometimes in the picture you have doors that are opened, and then there are others that are closed. So it lets you know about, you know, the what it means. For example, this is the Six of Cups. See? In here there's no doors. They are outdoors actually. But if you notice, she's reading them like a fairy tale, like she's reading them a tale. So somehow the book in there, it's also a door. It's a door to imagination. So it opens, it expands your mind. And it also like draws you inwards. You have here the Lover's card. And here it's very interesting because there also are they are on the outside. They are on a field. But the lovers in here, instead of having the usual people in the middle of the couple, and like the Cupid, you have like a fortune teller here, a gypsy woman in the middle. She's reading his palm. So she's like reading his future. You know, it's about that moment where you haven't made up your mind yet. You are like, you know, you are getting your palm reading, but this could lead you to different ways. And actually there's always something very interesting with the Lover's card, because in here we don't have the usual two females. But there's people that says that the two females in the Lover's card, it's the two options, you know, like the brunette or the blonde girl, you know, the older female or the younger female, the bad one or the good one, the bad girl or the good girl. And you know, I always notice that for me, if you pay attention, you know, sometimes the female, you know, you don't see them holding hands here. It could be his mother. You know, and in the other especially in the Marseilla's tarot deck, is like it could be an older female, but it could be his mother as well. Because remember, back in the old days, if the mother or the father, but in this case, you can see a lot of female energy in the Lover's card. Sometimes, if the mother doesn't approve of someone, you are not going to get married, especially if it's the son. Here you have the first card, that is the Fool. And in here, if you notice, the Fool is holding a key. Do you see? He has the key to possibilities, to the unknown. He doesn't know where he's going, but he holds the key. He has the key. And here you have, for example, the Strength card. Do you notice how the door is closed? So somehow the door closed in the Strength card. It means that you have to keep your instincts inside. You have to refrain yourself from acting on your instincts. You have to calm down. You have to, keep it in. Like, resist the temptation to go all out. Like, breathe. Don't open the door yet. Like, compose yourself. Like, don't reveal it. We know it's there, but don't reveal it. This is why the door is open. I'm sorry, the door is closed. Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. Like, this is, honestly, it does remind me of my dad and his efforts, because he had built our own house. I mean, like, as I'm talking to you guys, he's like working on building like the second floor of my house. So, like, this is the Nine of Wands. This is a man like holding the door. He's carrying the door. And this door, it goes to his house, do you see? For his family. For his family, he's holding the door. And it's a heavy door. Yes, it looks like the position of the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, I'm sorry, not the Nine, you're right, the Ten of Wands, where you see the person carrying all those rods inside on his back. And it feels, and he's like, almost defeated, but he's getting there. Yeah, in this case, it talks about defensiveness, not only the effort, but defensiveness. Because if you notice, he's carrying this door to put it in his house. So the effort that he's doing is to defend the privacy of his home and his family. So yes, it could be like, a whole struggle, but it's to defend the intimacy and the family. He's like, he's doing the effort to protect the family. Like, his whole efforts and endurance, it has a purpose. that it's maybe to finish the house, to give a safe roof for the family. Yeah, because you can have like the roof and everything, but if you don't have a door, it's just that in here, if you notice, he's carrying the door by himself. So this is something that it's also very, very Nine of Wands. That it's about, probably you feeling very tired and you feeling like you cannot take it anymore, but you not admitting that probably you do need help. That why are you carrying that door by yourself? Like, is it because you want it done faster? Because you have no one that is helping you? Because there's something about a pride? But, you know, like, why are you doing it like this? And this is why in the Nine of Wands we see this person like building all this almost like a fence with the wands. But that person has like bandages. It looks like the person is very tired. It's that they went through a lot all by themselves because we only see one person standing in there. So sometimes it looks like, okay, you have the pride of saying, yeah, I done it all by myself. Like no one helped me. I didn't need anyone's help. But, there's also about this like, why are you carrying all this weight by yourself? Why are you doing this? Like what's going on with the others? What's going on with why there's no collaboration? Why you had to do it all by yourself and push yourself to that limit? And in here we have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups actually is, if you see, there's no door here. And even though it's the Suit of Cups, we don't see water. But he's looking for water. Do you see with this, somehow with this, I don't know if was the system where they used to work like somehow like look for a potential water source. But he's looking for water. He had been walking through this very empty and dry like surroundings, but he wants to find water. And this is very much, yes, like a page of cups, that he's looking for his emotionality. He doesn't know where to start, he doesn't know how, but he wants to connect with his feelings. He wants to connect. He wants to connect. Hi everyone, it's Guide Muffy. I need to catch up on this. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I was just showing you because it's a very interesting image. And here you have the Justice. The Justice card. I'm sorry you cannot see it very well. You have the Justice. And here you have people fighting on the stairs. The Justice card. Everyone fighting because everyone is like the people is like, like, let me go first, or I will go first, or I can enter and you cannot. I will open the door but you can't. I will get the justice. You won't. I'm the one that deserves justice, not you. And we don't know if these doors open, but I think that the Justice card, it's a card that talks about, how if you have like a clean conscience, if you have like, if you are really secure about your matters when it comes to asking for justice, when you ask for justice, you have to be sure that you are a righteous person yourself, that you haven't like done like bad things to others. When you call the justice, like, and this is not, to call justice, like, I mean, the justice system in general, for example, like the justice as we know it, political issues, police, the government, and everything. I'm talking about, the philosophy behind the justice, because in here we talk, yes, we could talk about karma as well. When you call upon justice, you have to take a good look at yourself. And it's like, have you been just? Have you been fair in this situation that you're asking justice? Because probably you will be judged as well. And then, if you want the justice to come to you, you will be judged as well. So be ready. Be ready because, the justice would look at both sides. Even if you think like, oh, I shouldn't be like, I don't know, investigated because like I am the innocent one. Like, why are you concentrating on me when, or in my past deeds, when I am pointing out about what this person did to me? It's them you should be focusing on. But the justice is more like, I have to look at both sides. So if you are innocent, like you say, you have nothing to fear. You will go through the process. But make sure that your conscience is clean, that, because when justice comes, it comes for both sides. So, well, in here we have the world. The world card is the birth of a baby. You see, the door is closed, but it's because of the intimacy of the moment, and at the same time, this door, it's like, I don't know how you say it in English. It's like this, it opens both sides. Like, it's not like a closed door, that you need a key to open it, it's very flexible. But at the same time, it's letting you know that somehow when we come to the world, the woman's body is like the door for a new being, a new human to be born. A woman, and it could be an animal as well, like to give birth is like, we could see like the door opens, we could see like, the action of giving birth to something new. And also to think that when we are in a hospital, for example, when we are, it could be like for this reason to give birth, or to actually like, to face death, So this is like welcoming a new cycle of life. And also probably has to do with the cycle of the woman's body waiting 9 months or whatever months it is to somehow deliver the baby. It's all about completing a cycle. It's like the cycle is over. The Seven of Swords, beyond just simply dishonesty. I'm going to see if I can get it here in this format to see what it can also provide to you. Yeah, the Seven of Swords, it's complex because it can mean intelligence and it can also mean yeah, actually here it's very interesting. Because in the Seven of Swords, you have a door open, a door closed. I'm sorry, I'm losing my English today. A door closed, but it seems like she's painting the door in a very abstract way. But she's painting it. She's like, you know, in her own image. And the door is closed. Let's see if I can find the book. So what does it say about the Seven of Swords? No, it doesn't say much. Worries that push toward finding new solutions to problems. Yeah, in here it's like, it's more like, you know, because the Seven of Swords is like the struggles, the struggles of the mind. So somehow, because she has like the door closed in this like a scene. It means that she's probably distracting herself by painting this. Hey Kuromi, you know, she's distracting herself. Like, she knows she has bigger issues to deal with, probably there behind the door, but she's deciding to distract her mind with something else. You know, she's like painting, she's not facing yet, or maybe this is her way of dealing with what's going on. You know, she refuses. I have the manga tarot here. I don't know if I have another image to show you. But yes, the Seven of Swords, yes, it's a card that actually a lot of people fear, the Seven of Swords, because it does have this, it's not just the image, it also has like the you know, the usual thief. You know, the robber, the person that you first see it and you're like, oh, I'm going to get like scammed, or someone is going to steal something from me. So definitely we have to go like, you know, deeper into this, you know, like about like what is going on with you fearing like being lied to, or being defeated, because sometimes, for me, the Seven of Swords is about being clever. You know, I don't know why I always picture the Seven of Swords like the Scorpio energy. Like I said, for me, the Scorpio people and placement, it's all about secrecy sometimes, and it's about being strategic. It's like you probably know things, but you don't reveal it, or you just, you know, give a hint, but you are always in control about what you deliver. And I think that I always had this perception, and actually I had this this very favorite quote that I will always tell like the people that will come to me for advice, and not in a psychological or counseling way, just as a person. Like I would always tell my friends when they want to ask me for advice, I would always tell them that information, not information, knowledge is power. So you knowing things and you like somehow being able to collect some information is not a waste of time. Like everything that you save in your memory has a purpose. Maybe you are like, for me, I absorb information, or I tend to listen very actively to people, to what they say to me, and maybe it's just a random comment, but I save it in my mind, and eventually when they show me who they are, it has a lot to do with a joke that they made, a comment that it's, I don't know, it's sarcastic, or a comment that came out of nowhere, like, you know, like an abrupt comment or criticism, you know, and it's like I saved that in my memory, you know, even though probably they brush it off very like, oh, I don't know why I said this, or I don't know why I acted like this. I don't know what happened to me in that moment. But for me, are those small, where they sleep, their unconscious self, or their honest truth comes out. Especially people that I tend to like feel a bit distrustful, like with them. Like they usually give themselves away with the small gestures, you know, and small. They say some things that let you know how they really feel about the situation or about you. So, for me to always have those moments saved in my memory, when they eventually reveal themselves, I'm like, oh, they did said this at this moment. And now it's all happening like this. You know? So for me, the Seven of Swords is like this. Is you holding information, like probably it's not that deep. You know, it's not that you are like intentionally or obsessively looking for a particular answer. It's just things that happen, small details, you know, that caught your attention. You're like, oh. Even myself, like even like working on myself, I have those moments where I say a few things that I'm like, you just revealed yourself, or maybe what I'm talking about. This is why when I read cards, I always tell people, I know I talk too much. Like I talk a lot, I say a lot in my readings, and actually, that's why sometimes I get annoyed with people that when they book sessions with me, they are like, oh, but I wanted to ask you other questions. Like, I want to ask questions. And I'm like, but you didn't get a reading from me yet. What questions do you have? And I had clients like this, especially people that are Aries or fire signs. Like, I usually have to tone them a bit, like calm them down and be like, you know what, I do my readings like this. This is how I work. You give me your questions, or you tell me like, I want to read about this. Okay, I will read about this. You listen to the reading, because you know, guys, that I shuffle and I place the cards before I record. So I'm not like rambling about superficial stuff. I start once I push play or record. Like I start talking about what I see. I start interpreting, and my readings are sometimes from 15 minutes to half an hour. And I do say a lot. There's not moments of pause or silence. I say a lot. So when they are like, when they listen to the reading, they finally realized after listening to my interpretation that there's no need to question. There's no need to question more, because what I said, what I did when I did the reading, I actually answered a lot of their questions. Because yes, you can have some specific questions, and those questions help me like give a structure to what I'm going to read for. But if you don't know what my interpretation is going to be like, how do you know what you're going to ask afterwards if you haven't listened to me yet? This is something that generally some people do, that is because they don't know how to listen. They precipitate. Because if you pay attention to my readings, you will know that I'm giving you all the information that you need. And you probably will need to listen to it a couple of times. It's not just in one listen that you will get what I'm saying. But if you do the exercise of just watching or listening as many times as you want, there are people that are like, oh yes, thank you, I will take my time to understand what you're sending because there's a lot. And I'm like, oh yes, this person like got me, really got how I work. And also got the intensity of what I was saying. Because it's not that I'm like just talking because I enjoy to talk. I'm giving you information. And everything that I'm saying in this recording is for you. So you better pay attention. So, it's tough when people just don't know what to do with what you're saying. Especially with, I understand that there are people that have no patience, that they are like, okay, I want to know if I will get married next week, or if does this person love me, for example. It's a yes or no situation. But if it's a yes or no situation, why don't you ask that person yourself? Because if you have to ask me, a tarot reader, about how does this person feel, the cards are going to call you out. Like, what is going on with you? That you are in this dilemma and you need a divination, a tool. You need an extra tool, when actually it's not that you don't have communication with the person that you are referring to, that you want me to read for. You are in that connection. You are part of that connection. So why are you asking the tarot about how does this person feel? You have the chance to ask that person yourself. Why are you asking the tarot? What is going on with you? Like, not being able to ask people in your life those questions. Or if you really want to know, for example, does they really love me? Do they really love me? Do they really care for me? It's like, why are you doubting? Because the tarot is always going to back to you, and the tarot is very straightforward. The tarot it doesn't condemn you, but it's a bit rough, yeah. I had to rewatch the reading you did for me recently. So you definitely pick your words very carefully. And I always notice things when I'm watching second or even the first time. Yeah, because I don't remember, honestly, like, because I talk a lot. I don't remember. It's like, for me, it's like I would say I go into a trance, like a sort of a moment of, well, I feel the need to say some things. So sometimes I don't remember exactly, but I only can say that I definitely do feel the words that I'm saying. I do feel like I am in that moment with the people's energy. So for me, it's something very private. For me, it's a very important experience. It's very moving sometimes. It's very moving. It's very moving. It's, and you know here, like I was mentioning, you know, talking about the ninja. Here, the Seven of Swords in the manga tarot. See how she's taking away the swords? But in this case, do you see, for me, it's not like she's taking someone's belongings or she's stealing someone. I think that this has to do, since we're talking about swords, you know, this has to do with sometimes your ability to be quiet. It's like probably you have a lot of things to say, you have a lot of opinions about a moment that this is why she's like, you know, very quietly or very like strategically trying to leave the situation or the place. Sometimes when there's a conflict, sometimes when there's a lot of words coming and going and a lot of like arguments, sometimes the wiser thing, and I think that the things that the aspect that is really hard for some of us to integrate is to be able to be quiet. Just observe and don't get involved. You definitely have things to say. You have your own ideas and your thoughts and perception about what's going on. It's not that you are like ignoring what's going on. It's not that you are unaware of what's going on. No, you are very aware of what's going on. But you decide to not say anything. You hold in your opinion because your opinion is sharp. Your opinion or what you have to say could potentially hurt others or create more chaos or create, you know, and you don't want to. For me, this card, it's also a very powerful card because it also lets you know that you have the chance to manipulate the situation with omitting some parts or deciding not to get involved. For me, it's about being smart. Yes, being strategic, yes. You know, and also like probably playing with people's minds a bit, you know, because somehow it's like, oh, I thought I had these swords, and you're taking them away from them. So they thought they had this perception of you. They thought they knew what you were thinking. They thought they knew what you were going to say and how you are going to act about something. And suddenly you take that power away from them. You're like, you don't know me. You don't know what I'm going to say. You don't know what I know. Be smart. There are some conflicts where sometimes not revealing everything you know is the best. Because when we reveal what we know, sometimes it can bring consequences. Or maybe playing dumb, you know, like acting like, oh, I have no idea. Actually, the people that survive the, when we watch this, I know that you are talking here about Game of Thrones. Yes. That reminds me of Game of Thrones. No, how the ones who survive are the ones who know how to play the game. Exactly. The best strategy is to not have an opinion. Not have an opinion. Do not say, do not even like make like, yeah, little finger style. Yes, like you know, like even though you do have your opinion, you do, and you can share it with the people that you trust. But if you are in a very like dangerous and in an environment where everyone betrays everyone, you have to act like this because you don't know who to trust. Even the people that you think that you could trust. Like the artist in SM right now. you know, something like this, like, no, you're welcome. Or maybe also knowing that if you get this card, if you think that it has to do with other people like beholding information from you, also like take it, take it. Also recognize that some people can be suspicious of you, or some people just are not telling you everything they know because of their own benefit. But always think that it's not like that is the right. It's the right. It's their experience. There could be people that are hiding things from you, and it's their experience. It's their style. It's how they move through life. With a ninja kind of like behavior. In my case, since I always been surrounded by Scorpios, I noticed that at least the first stages that when I meet them, they always are suspicious of me, and they always are like, somehow like playing ninja around me, like being sneaky, always, always, always. So what I do with them is that the more they suspect of me, the more I act like myself. The more relaxed I show myself. The more confident I show myself. Like, it's like, because if you feel threatened by their beholding of information, it's because probably you have also something to hide. Like, they will relax and they will show themselves, they will reveal themselves when they think that you are worthy of this. They have their time, their moments, and you cannot force this. But yeah, because often Scorpios, they make you feel uncomfortable at first. Yeah, because in my case, I do notice that I'm being watched, and I don't like it. But I'm like, okay, you want to watch me all you can. And they usually probably they say a few things to somehow trigger you, to see if you react or not. And I just react. I just react like I would. But I often then, when they know me, when they put their guards down, and when we start talking, then I also show them that I'm I'm very deep myself, and that actually what I show you is just a part of me, just to get you to trust me. Like, I'm not, it's like you will never get to know everything about me, because I also have my secrets. I am a moon Scorpio, so I'm not going to show you all my cards. Like, I show you, you want to like interview me, you want to like somehow, you want to like do some confessionary with me, I will tell you a few truths. Yes, I will. But the more you get involved with me, the more you will be like, oh, I didn't know this about you, or I didn't know that you had this. Yeah, because I am much more than a face, than a body posture, than a smile or a serious face, or a rest. How do you say, a rest beach face? Is that that one? I'm much more than all of those. I have depth. I am much more. So, we all are much more. So I think that if you want to investigate me, like, go ahead, investigate me. But to somehow think that you have the whole truth about me, no. No, and I think that this is something that probably a lot of Scorpios, they waste a lot of opportunities and energy trying to figure people out, when actually people are not that complex. I mean, there are some people that are just not that complex. In my case, I am complex, I do admit it, but there's some people that maybe you are like, oh, why did they look at me like this? Why are you like, it's not that difficult, it's not that personal. Oh yes, my dad has a Scorpio moon stellium. He's always acting suspicious around me, and as someone with a Scorpio, I find it so unnerving. Yeah, I can deal with this. I need my privacy. For some reason, the Scorpio women don't act like this with me. I think maybe men don't always know how to handle the depths of a Scorpio energy. Yeah, Scorpio women are great. I actually love. I love them. But yeah. The more prone to use it for control. Yes, it's like you cannot control people. You cannot control people. You cannot. It doesn't matter how much information you have about them. Not boyfriend, best friend of 12 years of Scorpio moon, and she's such a mystery to me. But like once she confesses something, she doesn't stop. Oh yeah, I am like that too. I am like that. Yeah, I have my friend that she's a Moon Taurus, and sometimes like I just, there are moments, very unexpected moments, where sometimes I just open up and I start like saying things that probably I had been saving for years. And she definitely freezes. She's shook. She's like, I don't know what to do with what you're saying. Like, like I drop, like and then I move on. Like, I think that we have those moments, yes. We have those moments. For example, I know that they are, like, in my case, they knew some of my boyfriends, but especially the ones that I had a long-term relationship with. But for example, for the past 10 years, I had been going in relationships like on and off with people, so I don't introduce them to my family or friends. So they have this mystery. I'm sure they have this mystery, but I noticed that my friends, my real friends, the people that are my friends, they don't question me. It's usually my family, the one that questions me. It's like, oh, how come you didn't bring anyone home so we could meet? Is there someone that you're interested in? And they're more gossipy about that, and I'm sure they have their questions, but I'm not going to answer them that. But my friends, my real friends, they know that yes, I can have like connections with people. It's not that but I'm not dating someone in particular. Like I'm not dating someone in particular because they're horrible. Like, and this is not just me going through this. Like I consider myself a great partner, but somehow I cannot find like my match. I cannot find it, and I'm not going to force it just so I can bring them home to my family and be like, here, this is a real person. Can you see him? Like he's real. No, I prefer to keep it a mystery, you know? Yeah, family members are always so noisy, especially when someone is marrying. For the other day, I had my cousin's wedding, and they are like, "And when are you going to get married? And what about you? Like, what's going on with you? Like, there's nothing going on with me. Like, there's nothing wrong with me." I think that people, and I think that this happens because I come from a family, even like my cousins, that they are my same age, they had been together with their boyfriends of high school, or their, I don't know, when they were 20, they met them, and they even, some of them went through a lot of like fights, separation, and stuff, but they managed to somehow stay with them and have children with them, and they're just like this, and for me, like, since I went through so much like breakups and stuff, for me it's a whole process to trust again, or maybe to be like, I didn't find the person, and I'm fine with that, because I discovered a lot of things about myself, my friendships, my ideals, what I want to do with my life. So it's like I don't have like a husband, but I have me. So I don't know why is it so hard to understand that you are not worthless because you do not have a man or a woman next to you. Like, I don't get it. Like, oh my God, my other friend is a Taurus with a Scorpio moon, and she had been dating a guy for like 3 months and didn't tell anyone. But I get it. Honestly, a private life is a happy life. Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's like this. I prefer to not tell people. Like, and it's because, honestly, why would I want to introduce you to someone that I know probably we are going to have some issues, or we are still in this stage where we are not something? So I cannot act like and be naive and being like, oh yes, I am with this person, when actually this person refuses or is not interested in building like a stable connection. And it is what it is. And we have fun, and it's not like we hate each other or we don't like each other. It's just that, different priorities. Like, I'm sorry I didn't like end up with my high school boyfriend and I'm sorry that I didn't, that I broke up so many times, but I was searching for my happiness. So, this is why I think that we women, we have so much pressure about these appearances, and sustaining relationships and things that sometimes it's not the best for us. And like, I have my very a strong like conscious that I'm happy that I made the decision when I could, and I was able to get out of situations where I wasn't happy. I know there's a lot of females in history that they didn't have the possibility, and like my grandmother, like my great great grandmother or grandfather, because that was the option. There was nothing else to do but that. So, exactly. Don't let no one pressure you into explaining yourself. You know what's best for you and why you are in the situation that you are in. Exactly, and we shouldn't compare a situation with others. Everyone has their own path. There's no norm that matches, no norm that matches everyone. Also, and I think that, you know, it's just that we women, we go through so much to somehow find someone, you know, and to match their energy somehow. And sometimes it seems like we are never enough. So, you know, like, why would I stay with someone that makes me feel like I'm not good enough? Like they are not, you know, they are not sure about what they want. They now want this, and tomorrow they are not sure. Like, why would I put myself into that energy? Why would I associate myself with that energy? You know, that's something that this is why I tell you guys. In my case, when I like someone, I like that person, and I know it, and I know it, and I have met really like good guys and wonderful people that they also know. So, you know, why are we acting now like you know, men don't know what they want? You know, actually they do know what they want. It's just that nowadays probably they are more verbal about it. They are like, yeah, you know, I'm talking to a lot of girls, and I'm not planning to stop. I want my options open. And then it's up to you to decide if you want to be like an option, or, you know, choose to stay, you know, decide to be like, no, thank you, I pass. Very true, Vanessa. Although that's not true for everyone. I see a lot of young women who are seemingly happily married, but sometimes they just settle for something that's not the best of them. Yeah. Like, for me, Fluffy, I swear, like I went through situations where I felt like I was suffocating in those relationships because I wasn't happy. Like I sensed that there was something wrong and I wasn't happy. And I knew that I didn't want to live my life having that heavy weight on my chest of feeling anxious, of feeling like I wanted to run away from this bond, of how bad it was, of how manipulative the other person was, or what the other person expected me to be. And I think that my real self wanted to set themselves free from this. So, you know, that's very awful when you just know that you're not happy. And I don't know how people can fight this feeling and just do like, you know, like, oh yes, everything is okay. For example, a betrayal. Like, if you betray me, for me, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. I wouldn't be able to share a room with you, to be sitting next to you, if you betray me. And I know that there are people that can forgive and forget. Not forget, but probably they can forgive and move on. And, you know, forgiveness is not for everyone. And that's something that a lot of people, we should like embrace this. That forgiveness is not for everyone. Sometimes you cannot forgive, and that's okay. And the best thing you can do for you and the other person is to be like, bye. It's like, bye, I don't want to see you. And then you have people that they can just keep going. Even though there's a lot of betrayal, a lot of lies, they can keep going. And that's also valuable. If you can and you are willing to work on the relationship, if you are honest with yourself and you are like, you know, I want to save this relationship, this marriage, this connection, whatever. You want to continue because you love them. You know, and for me, I think that I definitely admire, because definitely you must love really like deeply that person in order to be like, I'm going to continue. I think that's also a demonstration of love. that you want to forgive and keep going because you love them so much or because they represent so much for you. In my case, the moment they betray me is like their mask is off and I just don't like you anymore. I don't like you anymore, and I cannot see you, and I cannot share time with you, I cannot spend time with you, I cannot even breathe the same air that you're breathing, because I don't know, I get like, you know, and I think that's, I get allergic to your presence somehow. Like, I feel like I don't want you in my life. I don't want someone like you in my life. And that's also very valid. You can welcome people in your life that makes you feel good. If someone makes you feel anxious, you know, and you are probably a very anxious person, and also anxiety is something that you shouldn't like be like all the time like blaming your environment. If you are someone that you're constantly like feeling anxious and feeling like, you know, nervous, you should go and work on yourself. Like, what's going on with that anxiety? You know, what's going on with you? Because sometimes, you know, it's not about the person or the situation. Sometimes it's something in you and you have to work through it. Maybe you have a great partner next to you, but you are anxious or you are distrustful yourself. So that's something that you also have to take into consideration. It's not that all of them out there are bad people. Sometimes you have this anxiety or you have these issues that come from you. So it's your responsibility to fix them. You cannot always put it on the others and be like, oh no, it's because they did this to me, so this is why I'm feeling like this. Sometimes, yeah, it can be half and half, but sometimes it's merely because of you. If you keep having the same situation with different people, probably it's because there's something in you that, you know, you are not seeing, you know. Yeah. Okay, guys, let's focus. Let's pull some cards because I had been ranting here for 1 hour and a half. So let's pull some cards for today. Oh my, I'm going to use this new deck. Do you have some questions? I watched the teaser. It's amazing. I love that song. No, we didn't. We didn't do Mingi. Some cards for Kai, come back tomorrow. I love that song. It's going to be fire. PH1. PH1 is, because I don't know why I confuse them with PH Harmony, P Harmony. PH1 is, maybe he's from, is an individual artist. He's for Dive Studios. Probably I seen him and I don't remember. Mingi. The teaser was amazing, yeah. Okay. We're going to try 2 cards of this deck and then 1 card from the Oracle that I did bring with me today, and I'm happy because yesterday I didn't have it with me and I don't know. I felt like something was missing. Yes. Yeah, but I think I know who he is. Yes, he's from Live Studios. Yes. What's his sign? Just to have some info about him. What's his sign, Mafi? Samara, have you? Yesterday I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw some videos of ATEEZ concert. It was Mingi's videos. Like, my God, that man is so fine. Like, oh my. So fine. Oh, okay. Like, I mean, when we see a fine man, not just body but attitude, we have to say it. Like, we have to acknowledge it. Like, that man, like, everyone move. Like, get out of our sides. Like, Mingi. It's just Mingi, you know, Mingi. Okay, let's put some cards for Kai's comeback tomorrow. I know that he got the chariot. Okay, no, it's okay, Samara. It's okay. You do your things. It's okay. Oh. Okay, Kai. Kai got the 9 of Wands. The cards that we were talking about, that you know, the family man, like carrying the door for his family. So definitely, yes, Kai is carrying the whole SM/Hive to see his back. Now, somehow I think that Kai is just like, you know, he's enduring, just like, you know, the strong guy that he is. He's working. He's like putting all his strengths. Like, probably he's a bit like, you know, exhausted, and this is everything that it has to do with his responsibilities is a lot. And honestly, especially if we think that he is doing this all by himself. He feels a lot of responsibilities. He feels the weight. But he also feels that it's his duty to defend. You know, it's his duty to somehow being like this in this moment. He's like, oh, I have to do great. I have to, like, you know, keep up the good work. You know, there's no time to stop for this guy. The moment is now. He probably worked a lot on this, a lot. So yeah, he's a bit like, you know, a bit like exhausted, but he's not going to stop. It's like he's yeah, very hardworking, and he got the chariot. But look at this chariot; it's amazing. Look at this chariot card. It's a rock star, like living. Look at this. It's the rock star. It's a rock star. Look at this. Look at Kai's living. Actually advancing, you know, because the chariot is advancing. So how is this comeback is going to go? It's going to go amazing, and he's going to be very prosperous. Look at him. Look at him in his rock star. Is his rock star. I never seen like a chariot like being associated with this sort of figure. This is why I loved having different tarot decks, because this is amazing. This is like, I never seen the chariot like you know, like this, and it's It's great. Yeah. It's great. He's going to be victorious. And then he got the card of Moon in Scorpio, power. He got the card of Moon in Scorpio, power. So also, he's going to be very powerful. He's like definitely he's like his mind, his energy, his body, everything is exuding powerful. Like power, like 100% power. Like he's like, okay, it's out. Like, you know, I'm going to provoke some people. I'm going to set some hearts on fire. So yeah, very Kai. Very Kai. Yeah, very Kai. Okay. PH1 from Dive Studios. That's hot. Yes. He got the Page of Swords, which is very interesting because it's someone like hiding from. I don't know. I don't think it's a robber, but I think that it's hiding because somehow I don't know if it's waiting, or you know, this Knight of Swords, not Knight of Swords, Page of Swords has to do with somehow like breaking the rules. You know, probably this is a director or rector, someone that somehow is looking for him, and he's on the outside. You know, this is why this person here is wearing a suit, because it somehow is the authority like looking for him, you know, and being like, okay, let's get you inside. Where are you? You know, and he's hiding. So somehow he's a sort of like a very daring person, you know, probably with his the way he communicates, he dares a lot of conventionalisms and a lot of like things that are not being said and need to be said, and he refuses to be like in the sort of doctrine, you know, of a very, you know, like a strict kind of mindset. He refuses to enter here. He refuses to belong to the conventionalist. You know, he's more on the outside. He's an outsider. He's like, you know, I'm fine here. Like I'm fine here being where I am. I don't want to come in here. I'm fine standing on my own. And then he got the card of the sun. There are naked children here, so I'm going to cover it. The sun card. So definitely he's a guy that he has like a lot of charisma. And probably if he's going to be working on something, he's going to be very successful. And actually he's very happy, like doing his things. I think that he had when there was moments in his career probably or his life where he had to somehow fight conventionalism, or he had the possibility to go for the road that was like the known, you know, what everyone was doing, and then he decided to do something else. And this is why he got the sun card right now, because he's enjoying the freedom, you know, the freedom on being on the outside, of enjoying the sunlight, of enjoying like the liberty, the freedom to run around, you know, to be like touched by the sun and everything being so bright and everything being so fun. You know, somehow he's a happier person. He's a happier person, and probably he has like a good humor. He's someone that has a lot of charisma, and he's going to be very successful at everything that he does. But I think that he has like probably his biggest trait is that he has a good personality, and probably he shines. I don't know. He has like a good self-esteem or something like that. And when he is when he expresses himself, the more he is himself, the more he shines. Is he a soloist? See, he got the card of Saturn in Aquarius, eccentricity. So see, this also has to do, has to do with the first card, with the page of swords. This air element, that he has, he has the ability to be eccentric and actually being loved by him, being loved by it, by being eccentric and by being different. He chose that road, he chose that path, to be different, to be free. So he studied dentistry and later worked as computer programmer before he quit and left for music in Korea. Yeah, he's definitely, he is a celebrity. Yeah, he is. He shines. Definitely his whole persona shines when he is like being an entertainer. Definitely he has a star quality. He's not someone that is supposed to be on the inside. He's not supposed to be. This is why he's running away from being inside the building, where someone is, probably his parents or some authority figure was like, oh, you have to do this, you have to work on this, you have to be on the inside. And he's like, no, I want to be free. I want to run wild. Like, I don't want to be inside this building. This is not who I am. Who do you want, Kuromi? Then can someone help me with the timestamps, because I didn't write them down and Chambin? Okay. You're welcome. Okay, let's go with Mingi. I love to see it. I feel like he has Aquarian influence for sure. Okay, ATEEZ Mingi, he got 2 of Swords. This is an interesting card. It's about a baby being left there and a nun receiving it. And 9 of Cups. So definitely living his best life, Mingi. And then he got the card of Moon in Aquarius, Independence. So definitely for Mingi, I believe that here with the 2 of Swords, because if we look at this card, we look that someone left a baby in the cold, in the rainy night. They escaped. They left the baby here, and there's this, there's this door that is opened, and we have a nun here looking very shocked. Like, oh my God, like they left a baby here. What's going on? But if we think about the 2 of Swords, I think that it also has to do with the possibilities, the decisions, because the baby could have both, like 2 different destinies. He could be like taken in, or he could like freeze here in the cold. Like we don't, and this is about the 2 aspects. It's like, what if he's not rescued, or what if he's rescued? Definitely the door is open because the nun opened it, but it also lets you know, look at the conditions outside, the conditions in which the baby was left. So I think that for Mingi, it definitely means that there's a transition between, him feeling very lost and somehow unprotected and in the rain until something saves him, and probably this has to do with the group, with the, that every time he feels like he's lost, or every time that he feels that he's losing this battle against himself, the group or the fans, everything that has to do with ATEEZ somehow save him. He feels saved. He feels like, there are moments where they can pull him out of this, of feeling like very unprotected, like feeling alone or isolated or just fragile. I believe that Mingi's mentality, or sometimes his, not because, we were mentioning about his body, he's a very attractive guy, he has a lot of charisma on stage, he's amazing, but somehow, because this is a two of swords, it talks about the duality, the things that we do not see. And probably, yes, we see this very handsome guy and everything, but inside his mind, he's a very fragile individual. He has his moments of doubt, he has his moments of darkness, his moments where he feels like a baby, like innocent, like vulnerable. So yeah, he's definitely had been fighting that, and then he got the 9 of Cups, that it means, about when you're finally celebrating that you are no longer here in the dark, where you are no longer feeling like somehow like an orphan. Probably this has to do with being an orphan. So I don't know if maybe he has some abandonment issues, like, I don't know. But definitely here we see him shining in all his might, like celebrating, like being in a very beautiful moment. Everything is perfect. He's celebrating, so definitely he's in a better place right now. He's no longer this unprotected baby. He's this very strong man, that he's celebrating with the people that he loves, and he's celebrating not that he has fame and he has money, and I think that he's celebrating that he somehow is feeling like more emotionally stable, because this is a card of cups, so this is talking about feeling very good emotionally. And then he got the card of independency, the card of moon in Aquarius, that I think that for him is like he's finally recognizing that he has, whenever he does something by himself, like especially that has to do with showing his individuality or being independent, he shines the most. So he's definitely like embracing a different side of himself, like very different, and probably he's going to have a lot of moments of independency, where you're going to see him like more like shining by himself, or having this, I don't know, these moments where he will be very different from what you know him for. So yeah, like embracing his individuality and embracing that he's very that he's different, and this is not to say that the others are not different. It's just that probably he's wanting to differentiate himself from the group, and somehow like being remembered for being like not so much relying so much in them, trying to be a bit more independent and trying to shine a bit more by himself, like embracing that independency. Okay, let's put some cards for the Boyz channeling. Okay, he got Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords. And then, yeah, he got the card of eccentricity as well. Saturn in Aquarius. I don't know why in the other reading I said Moon in Aquarius, but no, it was Saturn in Aquarius, eccentricity. This is a very interesting card. I don't know if you can see this. This card is the Queen of Swords. And somehow, I had the feeling that this person is under some kind of hypnosis, where she's talking or her inner child is talking. Because if you see here, this is a child. This is her as a child. And she's opening her mouth. She's like connecting with her inner child. She's letting her inner child out by expressing it in this sort of hypnosis and speaking her truth and speaking like her innocent self, Yeah. And then they got, well, the Ace of Swords is very common because, yes, you have the typical sword, and then you have the labyrinth, and then you have the final exit or entrance. So I think that honestly for Chanmin, there's more clarity in his cards that he got. He has a lot of mercurial energy. Like we always talk about Chanmin, even though he is a Scorpio, he has, this moon in Taurus. There's something about the mercurial side of him. I don't know why. I also feel it, like a lot of air element. I always blame it his Mars in Virgo, but I don't know. Maybe that, that everyone says that usually some idols their birth dates is not their birth date. So I don't know if maybe, he always gets swords. So I don't know. I think that definitely with him having this Queen of Swords, it means that he finally is able to, be in control of his own narrative, of his own way of expression. Probably he's feeling a bit more confident about talking about himself. Of course that there could be moments of a lot of harshness or actually a lot of unexpected things coming out of his mouth, because there could potentially be a lot of trauma in Chanmin's mind. It's just that since he has this Queen of Swords, he's talking from his own perspective. So definitely what we are seeing of Chanmin today is his true self. It's not someone else talking for him or about him. He's finally being able to talk about himself. And this is something that I believe that is very important for Chanmin. Somehow, probably, he never was able to talk about himself or tell his own side of stories. And now he's finally, since he's exercising this, about talking about himself, he's exercising also about, about the complexity of who he is. And, and being real. And maybe, yes, shocking a few people about that. It's not just that he's an intelligent guy, he's very intelligent. It's also that he's opening his heart to letting you know that his mind is a labyrinth and that he doesn't always have the answers and that he doesn't always know where he's going, or that sometimes there are moments where he can be very intelligent and being very aware of things, and then there are moments where he feels out of control and he doesn't know where to go. And I think that is somehow it's very important for him to be able to speak more about himself. I don't know why. I think that probably at first he was a bit hesitant to talk about himself. Like, will people really accept me? Because honestly, I think that whatever he says is who he is, honestly. Like, I don't this guy is not a liar. He's not lying, he's not making things up. And sometimes for an idol to say a few things, it depends on who is listening. And I'm sorry, I got cut for a minute, guys. But yes, like, it sometimes can come off a bit like, especially for people that the audience, there's always a hater in there. But he's someone that he's probably like, here his role in this moment is to shock a few people about the eccentricity of his words, because he got the card of Saturn in Aquarius, that is about being eccentric. So I think that he's embracing the fact that he is the weird one, that he's weird, that his reasoning, the way he reasons things, the way he maybe talks about things, his view of life is a bit twisted. It's a bit like different to understand. But him coming out as the Queen of Swords, it means that he is like, he's in control this time. It's not that he is like someone giving him a script or a concept. It's like somehow you cannot give Chanmin a script or a concept, because he's going to always make it look weird. So it's better to let him be himself, and that's it. Yeah, he's different, but I like it. Me too. I definitely accept him. But yes, he's weird. It's not that he's weird. Like, I'm sorry that like that word is not. It's eccentric. Yeah, his body language, everything is very sharp. Yeah, but he's not like other people. He's not like the typical idol. Even when he tries to be or give the typical idol answer or service, it sounds weird. Like, he is different. Yes. I don't feel any dishonesty in Janmin either. Through him, I really been able to see the other harsher side of being an idol. I feel for him. I'm glad he's speaking his true honesty. He seems to be someone that struggles a lot, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, but now, because he's able to put into words some things, he's finally feeling much more comfortable with that. Sometimes it doesn't have to make any sense, as long as you have someone that listens to you and accepts you for who you are. That accepts you in that eccentricity. I believe that we all, the fandom, we all kind of like, we understand him, we get it, but yeah, we're also like watching him. We are like, you are different. Yeah, you are. Like, and it's not different like, oh, you're a mystery. No, he's not a mystery. It's just that it's weird, everything that he does. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to read for him. I'm glad, and honestly, since this card, the Queen of Swords, that she wasn't here, like, in this sort of like in a hypnosis. I wonder if he's going to a therapist. I wonder if he's getting like counseling sessions. I wonder if they have like some kind of, if he has someone to talk to, or if he was able to have a very secure place where he can speak about himself. Because I'm seeing that there's something in his routine that has changed. So probably, I wonder if he's going to see a therapist. And this is somehow enabling him to speak a bit more securely about himself. I know he has content. I mean, we had seen him, like he did an interview, he participated on a show, but I believe that he's also maybe practicing like more talking about himself, and he feels a bit more like secure in that sense, or doing some kind of therapy or exercise activity. I don't know, but it's helping him. Yeah, because actually, if you know this image, it was very telling. You know, it was very literal. Like there is someone being hypnotized. So I wonder if he's going through some kind of session or something like that, that it allows him to connect with his mind a bit more. Do you have any more questions, guys? Okay, guys, if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to go. Because I have to cook. Today is Sunday, and I have to cook. But it was great trying this deck with you guys. I'm probably going to bring it next weekend, so we can keep like studying it. But yeah, it's been, yay! Thank you, Samara. Yes, we chat a lot. Yes, thank you guys for being here. Have a great Sunday.